From having the same amount of money that's in my bank account to attempting to be one of Minecraft's richest players on the biggest S&P, this is my journey on how I'll be going from 0 to $1 billion on the DonutSMP. First thing, we have no money. Second thing, we have no homes. We have no orders for anything. No, nothing. So that's it. I'm really excited. Let's go ahead, RTP out, and start making some money. Alright, looks like we got an ice bikes biome. I guess we just kind of play it like normal Minecraft, I guess, at the first part. We're just gonna go ahead and get some trees. I'm gonna go check out whatever this is over here. I can't see it. It might be a base. Okay, I don't think that's a base, actually. The goal for this first episode is to have a minimum battle of 25 mil, and also, I'm not allowed to take any handouts from anybody. I haven't been in the beginner stage of Donut in a really long time, so I don't really know what to do first. I know selling logs is probably a good method, so I'm probably going to go ahead and just do that. I'm gonna RTP out, actually, and try to find a better spot to get some logs, because this isn't a whole lot of trees, so we're gonna go look for a forest. Alright, this is perfect. 30k for a stack right now? Alright, we just got a little more than half a stack of logs, so I think what I'm going to do is list these 16 for... How much is it going for? Alright, looks like we can list 16 for around 7.5k. Hopefully that will sell. Yo, let's go. Somebody already bought our logs. Bet. Yo, they bought 2. 30k? Yo, this is actually an insane axe. Yo, I'm gonna take that deal. 30k for this? That is insane. I also had a good idea to sell leaves since they were super easy to collect, so I bought some iron to make some shears. Oh yeah, we can get a bunch of shears. Alright, this might be a dumb idea, but I'm gonna make 5 pairs of shears and go around and get a bunch of leaves. So for the next 15 minutes, I collected, mined up, and sold a bunch of leaves and logs to make a decent amount of money. Alright, there we go. Some of the people are actually already buying our leaves. Let's go. I was also selling some levers just because they were super easy to craft. Alright, we have too many items listed, but once somebody buys our stuff, we can list these other 2 levers. After going into a cave, I made a big order for deep slate, so then I could craft this into deep slate bricks and sell it on the auction house. Alright, everything is listed. If all of that sells, we'll make our money back plus more and have a bunch more deep slate to order, but I'm actually going to cancel the order. For the next 15 minutes, I started grinding logs so I could get some easy money so I could go start working on my farm. Now, after selling a bunch of random stuff, we had around 250k. I also bought a bunch of flint and a bunch of iron so I could start selling flint and steels, which turned out to actually be insanely good. And as soon as someone would buy a flint and steel, I would immediately sell another one. I was also going to make a base at the time, so this is why I was in the nether. After I was done using nether travel to get good cords for my base, I went ahead and bought a pickaxe so I could start digging. There we go. Okay, that is a perfect pickaxe for 200k. I'll take it. After I got a decent pickaxe, I decided to go ahead and start mining down and go make my base. After I finally got a good spot, I started digging the area. All I have to say is, I didn't have an Amethyst pickaxe, so this took a long time. After I had a small little area dug out, I decided to start ordering all the materials I was gonna need, meaning it would be way cheaper than buying it off the auction. Yo, let's go. The redstone, repeaters are already filled, and we're getting a bunch of orders. Let's go. Finally dug out this small area, bro. This took so long, and it's such a bad area too. My next money-making method idea was selling pickaxes. After I finally had enough money, I pretty much spent all of it on these bookshelves. After selling a few more things in the auction, I finally had enough money for a full max enchantment. With the last bit of my money, I was able to order a whopping 2 diamonds. Yo, boats are insanely expensive. What the heck? After I got done listing a few random items on auction, I went ahead and collected my diamonds for my orders to make a whopping 1 diamond pickaxe. Yo, they're actually buying the boats. What the heck? The next thing I did was make an order for lapis, so I could start enchanting. Now, right now, progress was really slow because I had just pretty much used all my money on this enchantment setup, and I still needed to buy a few more things like anvils and grindstones. So I made sure to just keep selling random stuff on the auction because that seems to work. Why is it not going up? Oh, there it goes. Level 30. All right, let's see what we get. Holy! Yo! That is an insane pickaxe! Dang! Wait, I'm just gonna use this one. I'm gonna sell this one. This one's more expensive because it's silk touch. Now that I had everything set up and people were starting to order me lapis, I could finally start making a lot of money. I was also still selling flint and steels because they would sell pretty much instantly. I also made a huge order for diamonds so we can enchant some more pickaxes. Oh, and the diamond order's complete. Never mind. That is 7 pickaxes. Let's go. As I was enchanting pickaxes and waiting for them to sell, I was also expanding our base, and by the way, we're still ordering lapis and XP bottles. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more DonutSMP content. Alright, we got a decent area dug out. I'm gonna go down 3 more blocks, and I think this is pretty good. Since I had been digging so long, a bunch of my pickaxes have sold, and I'm almost up to 500k. After enchanting and selling a few more pickaxes, I started working on the roof of my base. Bro, an amethyst pickaxe right now would be so good. After I was done with the roof, it was time to dig out this whole thing an entire another time. The next 20 minutes, I kept selling pickaxes because it's actually a really good method. And I'm almost out of mil from doing it. Eventually, I had to go back to being a digger, and yeah, I just really hate diggers, bro. I also had a weird idea that actually worked, which I just bought a stack of crafters, split them up into stacks of 16, and they actually sold for a higher price. After continuing to be a digger, I had an idea to try to do this with some other blocks as well. So I bought some bookshelves to see if it would work too. For some more digging, I realized my flint steels were not selling at all, so I just took them all off my auction and lowered the price. I should have been doing this the whole time, but I realized I could use anchors to mine, so this helped out a decent bit. After I'd finally had the area dug out, I decided to make a crimson farm. When I had logged back on Donut the next day, pretty much everything on my auction had sold, and here's the auction transitions if you want to see. I also dug down the base one more layer just to make sure the crimson farm could still fit. Alright, this should be enough area for the crimson farm. I'm gonna go ahead and get all that stuff that we ordered a few days ago. After I finally had everything I needed for the farm, it was time to start building it. Alright, hopefully this isn't a mistake. I'm about to spend pretty much all my money on it. After all the bones were ordered, I started to fill the farm up to see how much it would make. I also had a ton of leftover bones, so I just ordered them back to people. Let's go, it looks like it's working. Alright, perfect. Now, while the Crimson Farm was running, I sold a bunch of pickaxes, and I also expanded the storage. After I expanded the storage a ton, I realized I had a bunch more bones left in my order, so I just put them in my chest. Oh, and just to point out, I was ordering the Crimson, not selling it. After AFKing the Crimson Farm for a while, I had a really good money-making method idea. I ordered a bunch of observers and a bunch of pistons, and once people would order me both of the items, I would just turn around and sell it on my AH. For some reason, pistons were extremely high in the auction house right now, which for me is amazing, because I just had to order a bunch of them. 250K? Wait, are you serious? That's actually insane. Wait, let me get all of those right now. And then we have 16 right here, so I'll sell these for like maybe 25K. I was extremely surprised, but people were actually buying the pistons. In my 2 years of playing Donut, this is literally the highest I've ever seen them. Since they were so high, I spent another 600K ordering more pistons. I also ordered people the rest of my bones because this puny little farm I built does not need this many. Right before I decided to go AFK my Crimson Farm, the piston prices had dropped back down to normal, so I took all mine off and sold them for a regular price. We have 2 mil! Holy! What sold? I guess everything sold, huh? Dang, alright. Alright, we just made like 120K, which is... that is pretty dog water, I'm not gonna be completely honest. Since the farm was way worse than I thought it was, I just took out all the bone meal and just ordered it back to people. I also made another piston order because honestly this was really good. I also made a big order for repeaters, and honestly this was not a bad idea. Soon after selling some more stuff, I got back up to 1 mil. Soon enough, I was almost back up to what I started with, and I also moved the enchantment table down and built this little auto XP dispenser thing. I also made a ginormous order for diamonds so I could make some diamond pickaxes for enchanting, and it might not seem like I'm making much progress right now because I kind of been stuck under 2 mil, but trust me, in a minute you'll start to see the money rack up. I was really tired of feeling like I didn't make any progress at all, so for the next 2 hours I absolutely grinded the enchantment table. Also, I'm just gonna speed this footage up so you know that I'm not cheating, so if like, you know, you want to slow it down or whatever. Oh, and also you should subscribe. Once I hit a little over 3 mil, I decided to just AFK the Crimson Farm again. Alright, I'm done AFKing. We had to have gotten orders for the repeaters, right? Yo! All of the repeaters are ordered. Let's go. Now, after hours of grinding orders and pickaxes, I had finally started to see it pay off. Now, we're like almost 10 minutes into the video now and I only have 5 mils, so yeah, it's time to lock in. My goal for this base was to make enough money to be able to buy me an Amethyst pickaxe so I could go out and make a way better base. So I went ahead and got all the repeaters and started selling everything I had and ordering all of the crimson that I had. We're at 5 mil right now. That's pretty solid. I'll see y'all later. Alright, so we have 6.7 mil right now. If y'all want to see all the stuff that sold on our auction, just to show y'all, all the stuff is gone. This is all the stuff we sold, so this is how we got an extra, like, 1.6 mil, I think it was, somewhere around there. So pretty much, we almost have enough to get an Amethyst pickaxe, which would be awesome, because then we can dig out a big base, and I'm probably going to build a fungus or a bamboo farm. I'm still deciding. I might even do both. So since I was going to go build a new base, I went back to my old one and grabbed literally everything that I had, and I also sold all my repeaters. I literally sold pretty much everything I had at that base, and I was ready to go make a new one. Now, I ended up spending 20 minutes of recording and I just did not find a spot to build a base, but here's a little time lapse of my money going up from stuff selling on my auction. I had logged on one time before I started recording this, so it doesn't show the stuff that I sold while I was gone, but I made around 700K from my repeaters. Now, after about 45 minutes of nether traveling and finding the amethyst pickaxe I wanted, I went ahead and started digging out my base. Now, for me, this is around an hour. For you guys, it's around like 5 seconds. Now, this recording is me logging on the second day, and I had sold my pickaxe, so I just bought it back. Bang! Once again, for me, this is like 2 hours of my life down the drain. For you, this is like 5 seconds. After I sold my amethyst pickaxe and it was finally done, I wanted to make a tree farm. I then tried selling everything I had to be able to afford an amethyst axe, just to realize my area wasn't even tall enough. So I dug the area down a little more, and then bang, there you go, it worked. After making around like 600k off of it, I decided it would be a good idea to invest in some hoppers so it'd be much easier to collect the wood. I then grinded the tree farm until I made around 2 mil profit from it, and then decided to sell my amethyst axe and get off for the day. I was literally about to log off for the night. I just found out, look at this. Well, I didn't just now find out, but look at the bill for it, bro. 1 oak log for 8 redstone. That is crazy. The reason why I have so much little money, I found a really good deal for a amethyst axe. I'll show you all my AH transactions real quick, just so you know. Everything is normal. This is what I just bought. This is what I sold earlier. So we actually got one for 500k less than we did before, and this is actually a really good deal. So I'm gonna go chop a bunch of oak trees, and I'm gonna use this billboard while it's here. So hopefully we can get some money out of that. After about an hour of doing this, I made around 3 mil profit. Also wanted to go out and make a new base, because according to my old base, we're kind of trash. Also, this is where I'm building the base. I just can't show you how I got here because there's some nerds out there that will find where it's at. I'm gonna buy 3 skeleton spawners. Alright, and I'm gonna keep these for now. The area I was digging out was 60 by 60, and I was gonna make a massive bamboo farm here. Also, if this video gets enough comments accusing me of cheating, I'll post all of the footage on my second channel of me digging to show that I did it all myself. Oh my gosh, that took way too long, but we finally have a 30 by 30 area dugout. We also got some diamonds, so I'm gonna go ahead and sell it for like 150k. So once I was done digging for the day, I sold my amethyst pickaxe, and the next day I was going to start working on some bamboo modules. The next day I got on, I started buying all the materials I would need to start working on the bamboo farm. I made a giant order for moss blocks, and since I was spending so much money on the bamboo farm materials, I would buy stacks of repeaters and split them up into stacks of 16, and I was making profit off it. I also made a big order for observers, and honestly, I don't even remember why I did this. I also kept doing the repeater method where I'd buy a stack of repeaters for 200k and sell them in stacks of 16 for 100k and make 200k profit every single time. I also kept digging the area out, waiting for my stuff to sell in auction because I'm extremely broke right now because I just spent all my money on farm materials. I also started working on the floor to my base. Oh, a full shulker of moss blocks for 95k? I thought it was way more expensive than that. That's actually not even bad. Alright, this is where the little, like, thing is gonna be that makes the, you know, like, all the redstone stuff. You get it. We should be able to put, like, let's just put 2 stacks of blocks in here, and it should, like, push back and forth every few seconds. I was also doing the same thing with comparators that I was doing with repeaters, and it was working really good. Also finished the flooring of the base. Okay, this one's legitimate. 1.5. This should be all pistons, right? Let me make sure I got the right thing. Alright, bet. We're good. After I bought the pistons, I started building some of the bamboo modules. I also bought the last thing I needed, which was a full shulker of iron bars. Kept splitting up comparators and selling them, because honestly, this was making me a lot of money. I also made an order for repeaters just so I could resell them on the auction. Alright, the bamboo farm looks like it's working, and I guess I just make more modules, and I need to expand it this way and this way. I also started digging out another 30 by 30 area so I could start building more bamboo modules. I also ended up getting rid of an entire nether chunk, which is huge. After finishing the floor for the second chunk, I started laying out the area where the bamboo modules were gonna go. Filling in all the modules, I stood up in F5 to make sure everything was working, and it looked good. After building those bamboo modules, I started mining out my next chunk. I got done with this one pretty quick because there wasn't a whole lot left to mine out. After filling in the floor from the third chunk, I started working on more bamboo modules. I also started working on this auto crafter so I could turn my bamboo into bamboo blocks to get more money. After I finally got done with all the water flow, I made this bubble elevator so all the bamboo could get up here. Now that the autocrafter was finished, it was time to start working on more bamboo modules. As I was continuing to build bamboo modules, my amethyst pickaxe sold. Once I was done finishing up the bamboo modules I wanted to have done by today, I started making a redstone clock so our autocrafters could actually work. I was still reselling comparators and repeaters, by the way. I was getting ready to AFK overnight, so I started expanding my storage system. I just woke up. I'm very happy that our base is not raided. The bamboo farm has been running. It's only in these modules. Just take that in mind. It's only 20 modules. Yo! Look at our bow. I just didn't even see that. Holy crap! Wait, did all of our stuff sell? We have one repeater on there. Here's our auction transitions, guys. Oh yeah, literally all our stuff sold. Oh, and I kept selling repeaters and comparators in the auction. I also went to spawn and decided to get some armor for my keyhole crates. After I got digging the final chunk out, I started laying all the flooring in. Alright, I just got done mining out this whole area. I'm gonna build a bunch of bamboo farms. We might build a shulker loader over here, and I'm gonna extend the whole area out this way, but not anytime soon. I gotta stack these up first. Alright guys, we got a decent amount of the farm done. Obviously these modules aren't working yet, but all of them are like placed where they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and AFK. Alright, I'm done AFKing. I only AFK'd for like 20 minutes. Okay, that is better than I thought. Alright, I'll take it. Alright, everything should be good. I'll add an extra comparator here just to make sure. Alright. Here it goes. Oh my gosh, that was so satisfying. Now that I was done with the entire first layer, it was time to start stacking them. I also started working on the walls just so it wasn't netherite blocks. Alright, time for a little mini Q&A. What do you think I did next? A. Mine out the area. B. Build more bamboo modules. C. DM a miner. If you chose C, you're incorrect because I built more layers to my bamboo farms. You guys, look, I made a whole nother layer. Are you proud of me? Alright, I've been perfectly AFKing for exactly 20 minutes, so I'm gonna see how much this bamboo farm made. Almost 2 rows. So how much is this? That order, by the way. So in 20 minutes, we made 120k. So if we times that by 3, we'll be making 360k as our hourly rate. That is pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna sell some comparators. After buying an Amethyst pickaxe, I went back to doing my favorite thing again. I've been doing this for 8 hours. Also, this is an area I wanted to dig out again where I was gonna build my other bamboo farms, but yeah, this was not happening anytime soon. Guys, I just woke up and we have a slight problem. I didn't even think the bamboo farm was going to overload. I don't know when it overloaded, but it literally just did not build into storage apparently. I made around 2 mil overnight. That's the important thing. I also bought an Amethyst pickaxe.
Cofanto elefante.
Oh my gosh. Cocofanto elefanto.
Alright.
I heard it. I heard it.
What is that? I dug a small area out and filled it up with moss. After it was all finished, I sold my Amethyst pickaxe. After I moved the entire autocrafter back, which took around 45 minutes, I started making this tube that would transport it from the autocrafter to the shulker loader. I ended up making both of the tubes to make it look fancy and the shulker loader, but there was a huge problem. You see, while I was AFKing, it couldn't render in the shulker loader and the autocrafter at the same time because they were too far away. So I had to break down all the tubes, expand the area on the other side, and make an entire another shulker loader where the autocrafter was. So after 3 hours of my life, it was finally done. Also, I accidentally edited these recordings backwards. So the reason I gained around 3 mil earlier in the video was just from AFKing my bamboo farm and a little bit of selling stuff on auction. I also ended up making another bamboo layer if that wasn't obvious enough by now, and expanding my area a little bit, but anyway, sorry about that. Alright guys, I haven't built another like bamboo module in a while because I've been working on these shulker loaders and stuff, which has taken way too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the 4th layer to this. Also, I just want to clarify, making one single layer to these bamboo farms may look easy on the video, but this takes about an hour and a half just for one of them. Alright, I've been AFKing for honestly a decent while. It's been around 2.5 hours, or maybe 3 hours. Honestly, it might have been 4, but this is all the stuff. It's actually making decent amounts. Alright, so this is the total amount of bamboo. This is all bamboo blocks of shulkers, so let's see how much we make from this. 3.3 mil? I will happily take that. I will happily take that. I thought it was gonna be like maybe 2 mil. Now, since the bamboo farm seemed to be finally working perfectly and how it should, it was time to make it look a little nicer, so I added some moss around the walls. As I was putting moss on the other side of the wall, I realized I could maybe fit one more bamboo module in here, and it worked perfectly. After I was done using all the moss, I started ordering some of my bones. Now with all the walls placed in, this is what the farm looks like. In my opinion, this looks way nicer. And before I went to bed that day, I sold some more repeaters and was ready to wake up and check my profits. Alright, I have been AFKing for the entire night. It's been around 9 hours, so I'm gonna see how much this thing has made. It looks like our mini little like auto sorter kind of worked, and see how much it is. I don't know what I'm expecting. Oh my gosh. Wait. Dude, there's an entire double chest? Are you serious? Auction transactions, if anybody wants to see. I think some of our stuff sold. Yeah, I just flipped some random stuff. 6.59 mil? Dang! What is it at? Dude, it is so close. It is so close. Since I was getting so close to the 25 mil goal, I started selling stuff on my auction that I already had. And after a little bit of more selling and auction flipping, I had finally done it. 25 million. By the way, if you're wondering why I sound so dramatic even though I only got to 25 million, this was a full series on my channel, so I basically combined all the episodes into one big movie for y'all. But anyways, let's get to the next episode. From having nothing on the DonutSMP to building insanely huge farms and finding insane money-making methods that nobody knows about. Dude, it is actually working. This is episode 2 of how I'll be going from 0 to $1 billion from the DonutSMP. So grab your popcorn and snacks, because in this episode, I'll be going from 25 million all the way up to 100. So no further more, let's get into the video. So just in case you didn't watch episode 1, we left off with 11 skeleton spawners, a 240 module bamboo farm, and obviously 25 million. Ever since the last video, I've been AFKing the whole time, so we have a full double chest of bamboo blocks. But I'm not going to sell them right now because I'm waiting for the orders to go up a little bit. And since I had been AFKing for so long, I was able to buy 2 more skeleton spawners. Oh, and I ordered $14 million worth of observers, and you'll see why I did that later. I also went ahead and built another layer of the bamboo farm. Alright, it is all finished up. It should be working perfectly now. The bamboo prices also went to a good price, so I went ahead and sold them. Alright, in total, we made around 10 mil. I'll take it. Yep, 11 mil. Nice. It's pretty good. Okay, I have been AFKing for an extremely long time. I'm talking like probably 16 hours, so our bamboo farm probably made a lot of money. And also, I placed the skellies down, so I'm gonna go ahead and order the bones first. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I made a lot more money than I thought I was going to, because we only have like, what, 13 skellies? But yeah, that was not bad. We made like 1.5 mil. Okay, double chests. Alright, that's the thing. I think I'm actually gonna save the bamboo because sometimes the orders go up to like $106 and this is actually really low right now. Okay, I have been AFKing for an insane amount of time. Okay, pause. Before we move on, I just want to explain something. Right as I was done recording the first episode, I started editing it down, and this took a few days. So keep in mind, those few days, I was AFKing the entire time. So yes, we gained a lot of money early on, but it's gonna start getting a lot harder. I ordered all those observers, yeah, so all of those observers orders are completed. Hopefully the bamboo blocks are high orders right now. 107, amazing. All right, let's see how much we got. Okay, 1 double chest. I kind of expected that. Okay, that is, yo, that is insane. Okay, there's no way. Okay, yeah, it's just 1. All right, I don't know how much we're about to make from this, but we start after 24 mil, so let's see. Okay, we made around a total of like 22 million. All right, we just made 250k off the bones. Honestly, that is pretty solid. Now, something did happen that I'm kind of an idiot for. Let me show y'all. So basically, last night I forgot to turn this thing on. So all the shulkers were piling up in these hoppers pretty much. And then there wasn't enough room for them, so they started despawning. We lost a lot of money, but I think we have... Yeah, we almost have a full double chest, but we did lose a lot of money, which kind of sucks. I'm actually going to go ahead and start selling some of the observers.
I was selling a stack of observers for about 125k. And if you remember, we were ordering observers for $700 each. And if you times 700 times 64, which is a complete stack, it's only $45,000. So for each stack of observers I'm selling, I'm making over 60k profit. And keep in mind, we ordered a ton of observers. After I was done selling some observers, I went ahead and ordered some bamboo I had.
Alright, everything is ordering and we made... Alright, we made around a little over 8 mil. That is pretty solid. I'll take that. Now, there is one thing I want to try. I'm pretty trash at PvP, but I want to go and try to do a duel. So I'm going to buy the stuff I need to do a duel and see if we can make some money off of getting some kits. Alright, I think we got everything we need. I'm pretty trash at PvP, but yeah, we spent like 2 mil on this, so hopefully we can make some money from these gears. Observers are selling, but here we go. This guy might not even have gear now that I think about it, but we're about to see. Did I actually just take my freaking totem off? Are you serious? A true gambler never quits. I just spent another 3 mil. Milo the Foot, 52% win rate. Okay, we're cooking. Let's go! Doggone! Give me that!
I only ended up getting 2 pieces of gear because other stuff burned.
Okay, he has a 70% win rate. Holy crap. Bushwhack. Alright, let's see what this guy has. Let's go, let's go! Don't let it burn! Let's go, bro! We got it again. Our helmet broke, though. Yo, let's go. This guy's freaking trash. Oh my gosh, another gear set. This is actually going so well.
Seeing that I kept wanting more and more gear sets, I kept playing.
I'm just a controller player, so please go easy. Yo, this guy's on controller. I'm about to smoke him. Okay, we won.
Turns out the next guy I was facing was actually streaming at the time. He then asked if I could promote his stream, so I did the most logical thing I could.
Oh my gosh, bro, I feel so bad for him.
Just want to say, I don't feel bad for him, and I hope he loses his next duel.
I'm dead. Yeah, okay. Alright, GG's, bro. Alright, we just lost, but I guess that's alright. We won a bunch of gear sets, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. Alright, we have a bunch of gear now, so it's time to sell all of it. Alright, everything is all repaired, and let's see how much we can sell this for. Blast Protection 4, we can sell these for 320k each. That is pretty good.
Now that I had listed all the gear, I was realizing how expensive it actually is. So I decided to order a bunch of diamonds and the stuff I need to make the gear, so then I can just resell it. And I ended up spending around 4 to 5 mil on this. I then got the diamonds from my order and started making diamond helmets. After a bit of AFKing, most of the books we needed were finally ordered. Oh, just in case you're wondering, every helmet has Prop 4 on Breaking 3 and Mending on it. And as I was enchanting, the helmets were also selling at the same time. Overall, this money-making method is pretty good, it just takes a crap ton of time to do and is extremely boring.
Alright, we have an auction full of helmets. Now we just pretty much just gotta wait for them to sell.
Remember when we ordered observers for $700 each? Well, look at the prices on them now. Since they went up so much more than we ordered them for, we can literally just resell them on orders.
Alright, there we go. We just made around 6 mil. I'll take it.
I also had a decent amount of observers left, so I just started selling them on auction. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, I really appreciate it if you subscribed. Oh, and if we get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll spend 1,000 days in Dr. Donut's walls.
There we go. Our sugar boxes are already selling. We're already up to 61 million, which is pretty solid. Alright, I've been AFKing and letting my helmets and stuff sell, and oh my gosh, they all sold, and yeah, I actually made a decent amount of profit from this, so I don't regret doing this at all. Alright, all of them are sold. We made around 7 mil from that. That is actually kind of crazy. Alright, I am back. I have not recorded in a very long time. I've been AFKing this bamboo farm for like, honestly, it's probably been around like maybe 9 hours, 10 hours. I'm not sure how long. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to make a crimson farm since we have 16 skeleton spawners. Also, if you look at our bow, everything on our auction sold. All of those helmets sold, which honestly, I don't regret doing that method at all. And also, some of these observers, full showcase of observers, sold as well. After buying an Amethyst pickaxe, it was time to go be a digger. Also, as I'm digging this area out, it's time for a mini Q&A. Is this picture of Dr. Donut A, real, or B, fake? If you said A, you're correct. After I was done digging the area out, I started buying the materials I was going to need for the Crimson Farm. After I had everything I needed for the farm, it was time to start working on it. After a few more things, the Crimson Farm was just about done, and now we have to build the auto sorter and the shulker loader. I placed down our 16 skeleton spawners to start generating bones for our farm, and I also bought 3 more from the shard shop. I also bought an Amethyst pickaxe and started digging out the area a little more, just to make sure we had enough room for the auto sorter and the shulker loader. And after a while of digging, we even upgraded our block stone multiplier. Once I felt like I had enough area to dig out, I sold my Amethyst pickaxe and started buying the materials I was going to need for the shulker loader and auto sorter. I also made this one model of this auto sorter just to make sure the one I was going to build was actually going to work. After I knew that it was working, I started working on the shulker loader.
Instead of just making the auto sorter how I was originally going to do it, I decided I might as well just stack the auto sorter right on top of the shulker loader to see if that worked. Also, I had to break some of the shulker loader down to rewire some of the hoppers, because I wanted to organize the shulkers of the different things the Crimson Farm produced. But before I did that, I started working on the auto sorter. After I was done with the auto sorter, I fully repaired the shulker loader, and this thing was just living off of hopes and dreams, honestly. Also, as I'm building this bubble elevator, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on my last video. I mean, it got over 100,000 views, which is actually insane. And on top of that, Dr. Donut himself even watched it, which is just crazy. So thank you so much for this. I really appreciate that. After building the bubble elevator and wiring everything up, I dropped some bones into it and even made a little spot where I can put my skeleton spawner so it's easier to get the bones up there. And everything seemed to be working pretty good.
So I'm gonna AFK until this thing is done, like producing and using all the bones, and we'll see if it's working or not. Okay, this farm is just, I don't think it's working right now because there's not many bones in there. So I think I need to put more bone meal in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy and order some bones.
I spent 365k on a bone order and it immediately filled up.
345k. Now we're definitely gonna lose money from this, but okay, that was quick.
I rewired the redstone clock to the autocrafters because for some reason it was ticking extremely slowly. After I had added a few more bones and rewired the clock, it produced its first shulker, so that's how I knew it was working.
Alright, but I'm gonna go ahead and AFK. Alright, I have been AFKing for a really long time. I did mess with some of the redstone on the Crimson Farm to make sure everything was working properly. Let's go ahead and order this. Okay, we made around 400k.
The whole time I had been AFKing and building the Crimson Farm, the bamboo was also piling up.
Everything is ordered, and in total we made around 13 million. That's pretty solid. Now, that seems really good, but we still have $14 million to go, which, that's kind of a lot. Bro, I'm still recording. Alright, I have been AFKing for an extremely long time. All the bamboo has been building up, so we should be able to get 100 million with this last sell. Also, the Crimson Farm still ran for an extremely long time, and it ended up filling this entire chest up. 300. I'm just gonna slash sell the rest so we can get our sell multiplier up as well. Alright, let's see how much we make from this bamboo farm. Yo, let's go! 100 million. I'm gonna be honest, that was not really that hard, but going to 250 million is definitely gonna be really hard.
$1 billion. The amount of money that would take the average DonutSMP player months or even years of grinding to even get close to. But in this series, we work our way up to $1 billion, all completely solo. So with no further more, let's get into the video. Alright, so just in case you didn't watch the last video, we left off with 20 skeleton spawners and a 300 module bamboo farm, and yeah, 100 million. Now this 100 million is good and all, and so is this giant bamboo farm, but this thing is not going to carry us to a build. So what we're doing in today's episode is we're actually going to go out and make a ginormous crimson farm. So I'm going to go ahead and start looking for some base cords. After getting a helmet from spawn and buying a pickaxe, because for some reason my pickaxe in the last episode had just disappeared or something, I have no idea where that thing went. One thing that's really annoying about getting good cords in the nether is that when you go back through the nether portal to go in the overworld, you never know what region you're going to be in. So sometimes I would be in an EU server, which is not ideal ping for me. I ended up getting literally nothing but EU, so I just decided to give up on making a new base for now and just AFK my bamboo farm. Alright, I'm back from AFKing my bamboo farm. I think it's been around like 2 hours. I'm not even sure. Maybe like an hour and a half, something like that. Alright, 2.28 mil. I'll take it. Now, technically, we didn't even really make any money because we did have to take a loss on Amethyst pickaxe by $1 million, which kind of sucks. Alright, we were about to go make a big crimson farm. I did accidentally not record the footage, but we just basically mined out an area, that was it. Alright, so this is the area, we mined out. Sorry I didn't record it. It's nothing even big anyways, but yeah, we got these shulker boxes of moss. This is where we got the moss. After buying the farm materials, it was time to start working on the farm. Alright, I've been AFKing overnight. Okay, full double chest is pretty solid. 5.7 million. Another 5.7 million. Alright, perfect. We made about like $13 million from that, which is honestly pretty good. Okay, so sadly, earlier, the recording bugged. I just made one module. Thank God I didn't make a bunch more. Okay, you're probably wondering how in the world is this thing gonna get me to a build? Well, basically my plan was to just build a bunch of these small little modules. Also, we have 20 skeleton spawners, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put them down while we're waiting. And we can also buy 2 more, which is nice. Put those down.
I also didn't want to waste money on farm materials, so I went back to my bamboo farm to just search through the random piles of junk I had just to see if I could use anything from there. Once I had brought all the materials to my Crimson Farm base, it was time to start working on the second module. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. It's free and it helps me out a ton. Now it's time to build the second module of the Crimson Farm. Alright, that should be working good. Now that I was done with 2 of the Crimson modules, it was time to start working on some of the walls for the base. After making the walls to my base and wiring up some of the hoppers to the bone storage. Okay, this looks really weird, but basically what I'm gonna do is just build a layer just like this, and then I'm just gonna get a fungus farm and just build it right on top of this little like platform. I think instead of actually making this layer with the glass, I think I'm gonna do it with moss. I feel like that would look better. Alright, this kind of just looks odd, but this definitely looks a lot better than that glass in my opinion. After I was done with the 3rd Crimson module, I just went ahead and ordered some bones for cheap so we would have them when we need them. Alright, I'm gonna order $1.4 million worth of bones. I'm ordering for a low price, so it's not gonna complete instantly, but it's probably gonna take a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and place it now. By the way, if you ever see my money go down a little bit, that's probably just from buying farm materials. I need to go ahead and make the auto crafter for the bones, so I'm gonna go ahead and start filling all in this flooring. Now that we had bought the materials and the floor was done, it was time to start working on the auto crafters. Now this was actually really easy because we only needed 1 since we don't have a whole lot of skeleton spawners. Yo, why are these things so expensive? I'm gonna buy 2 stacks and actually split them up. As I was making the auto crafter, some of the crafters that I had listed were actually selling. After I was done making the auto crafter, it was time to wire everything up, and oh my gosh, this was the worst time of playing Minecraft in my life, bro. I hate doing this. After I had wired it up, I went ahead and AFK'd my bamboo farm. Alright, let's see how much we made from our bamboo farm. I think we were AFKing for about like 3 or 4 hours. Pretty good. We made around 5.6 million. That is not bad at all. I will gladly take that. I bought an Amethyst pickaxe and started mining out the area where I was going to build a shulker loader and auto sorter for the Crimson Farm. After all the area was cleared out, I started working on the shulker loader. After I was done with the first module, which also has an auto sorter on top of it, I found out it completely didn't work, so now I had to tear the whole thing down and make another one. Alright, the whole thing is finished, and yeah, basically we just have to make a bunch more of these, like probably 2-3 more of them. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get up for the night, but I'm gonna AFK my bamboo farm overnight, and yeah, tomorrow we'll start working on more of this Crimson Farm. Okay, I accidentally didn't record, but basically what happened is I sold my bamboo, and we made 8 million. It was a full double chest, and oh, there's one more in there. Alright, I'm back from a bunch of AFKing, and yeah, let's see how much our bamboo farm made. I think that's pretty good. 5 mil. Oh my gosh, bro, I left the spawners up there last time. I forgot I did that. I should not have done that. We had like 20, right? Okay, thank God. I definitely should have put that in my chest, but hey, at least they're not rated. Speaking of spawners, I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 more. I was ready to go ahead and build some more shulker loader modules, but first I needed to order some shulker boxes so that it actually could work. Okay, one thing that I'm seeing right here is if y'all remember in the last video what we did with repeaters, we can actually do that with droppers in this case. So after reselling some droppers, fixing up the shulker loaders, and adding a few shulker boxes into our order to the farm, they were almost all done. Alright, it's all done. It's definitely not the craziest storage ever, but it's just a small farm. It's not even anything crazy. I don't expect this Crimson Farm to even make a lot, so I just built this as an extra farm. After wiring up a little bit of the farm, I wanted to start working on the next Crimson module. Did I actually just build this entire thing wrong? Alright, everything should be working good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK this. I don't think this was a very good decision to even make this farm. Alright guys, I've been AFKing for just a slight bit. I had been AFKing for 15 hours. I don't know why I said slight bit. It's much more than a slight bit. We barely even AFK'd the bamboo farm. It was mainly just the shard area. What I want to do right now though is go make a skeleton spawner base, so basically I can just drop bones to a shulker loader and then order them to people for money. After about 30 minutes of looking for the place where I was going to build my base at, I bought an amethyst pickaxe for about 14 million and started mining away. I went back to my Crimson Farm to get some shulkers and materials so I could start working on the roof of my base. After a little area was dug out, which only took about 30 minutes by the way, I started filling in the flooring, and then when I went to go get off, something bad happened. Alright, I am back. Something bad did happen though. I accidentally forgot to sell my amethyst pickaxe, so I actually just now sold it like a few minutes ago. After taking a loss of about 4 mil from that pickaxe incident, I started working on the walls to my base. Alright, this is the area we need. It's really small. I want it to be small though because it's gonna be harder for people to find it if it's smaller.
So after building some of the storage, it was time to start working on the shulker loaders. Overall, this shulker loader design is really easy and actually very efficient. I was also pretty much building them layer by layer, so I had all of them done at the same time. Wait. We're already 8 minutes into the video, and I've only gained 15 million so far. You're probably wondering, what am I even gonna do for the rest of the 130 million? Well, I'm not gonna spoil it just yet, but I'll tell you that it wasn't AFK. And no, it's not the skeleton spawner base.
Alright, all 4 of the shulker loaders should be done. I just have to put the shulkers in these chests and then wire up the water flow thing.
Before I did this though, I made a redstone clock so it would shoot the shulkers out of the dropper into the storage system. So after dropping some of my orders and filling up the chest with shulkers, it was just about done.
We can also buy a bunch more skeleton spawners, so let me do that real quick. 5. And we're really close to getting 6. Alright, that's pretty good.
Now after everything was finished up, it was time to do something that you might not have expected. It was time to try and sell my bamboo farm. But before I did this, I did AFK my skellies for about an hour.
Alright, I've been AFKing for a decent amount of time. We have enough shards to buy another skeleton spawner, and I think our skellies, I don't know how much bones it's made, but we're about to drop them all in.
So after a little bit of searching through my Discord server, which you can join and link in the description, I found the guy that wanted to buy the farm, and his name was Waffles. You see, Waffles wasn't paying me with money. He was actually giving me items.
Alright, here you go.
Yo, look at this guy. He's media abusing, man. I would never pay that stuff for a bamboo farm.
The whole point of this challenge is for me not just to make a bill, but make a bill how literally anyone on the server could. So let me break down the prices of these items. First thing he gave me was 32 netherite ingots. Each netherite ingot at the time of recording was 3 mil each, so this is about $96 million. Also gave me 20 skellies, which at the time of recording was about $2 million each, so that equaled up to about a 40 mil. So the grand total was about 136 million. And since the base that I sold him makes $2 million an hour, he would only have to AFK for 3 days straight and make his money back. I personally thought this was a really fair deal, and hopefully you guys think the same. He originally offered me 120 skeleton spawners and 64 netherite ingots, but I declined that offer because I felt like that would have been unfair. I also did not care about this Crimson Farm base whatsoever, so I asked if he wanted to buy it for just simply 1 netherite ingot, which is 3 mil, and he took it. After he bought both of the bases, I mined up the random shulker boxes of loot I had at the bamboo farm, just so I could go through and sell the random stuff.
We got 20 extra skeleton spawners, which is not bad at all. Alright, and then it should end up down here. Perfect. And it's 2 shulker boxes, and they should all be full of bones. Alright. 250k for only 2 shulker boxes. They used to be like 80k. Alright, we have 51 skellies now. He couldn't give us any money, so we're gonna have to sell these netherite ingots off.
I listed most of the ingots just 1 ingot at a time, but I also listed a few netherite blocks just to see if those would sell as well. The netherite ingots were actually selling pretty good, so I just started selling a bunch of random stuff I had in my shulker boxes from the bamboo farm. Most of this stuff consisted of autocrafters, hoppers, comparators, and honestly just a bunch of random farm materials.
Alright, hopefully they'll sell like immediately, because I don't want to hold on them to the investments, because if Donut expands the nether bro, those things are gonna go so low. Okay, people are actually buying the ingots though pretty quickly, which is good. It's kind of funny, I've had these same 2 items in my e-chest since the beginning of the entire series. Alright, I've been AFKing for about 20 minutes. Our POW has gone up an insane amount. Let me show y'all all the auction transactions just so y'all know. Nobody bought our netherite blocks though. But this is everything if y'all want to read these. But what I think I'm going to do is the netherite ingots actually sell very quickly. So I'm just going to turn these blocks into ingots and then just sell them individually. Alright, all the ingots are listed. I really hope these sell. I mean, they sell pretty quick, so I'm not really worried at all. But yeah, let's go ahead and dump our bones in. I don't know how much bones it's made. It looks like it made, hopefully, maybe 2 pages. Okay, 1.5. I mean, we're only AFKing for like 30 minutes maybe, so. If all the stuff on our auction sells, we'll be at around 225 million. We have to make 25 million by ourselves. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and try to do right now is make a glow lichen farm, just to see if it'll even do anything.
I'm sure most of you have never even heard of this farm, but basically a dispenser bone mills glow lichen, and then if there's stone around the dispenser, it will actually like spread the glow lichen kind. It's a weird farm, but it is pretty good. So after wiring up some redstone and buying some shears, I tested if the farm worked. Now the farm was decent for now, but I decided to make it a little different later on.
If this can actually sell for a stack for 65k, then this is huge profit.
Okay, we might want to get some maxed out shears like this.
Yo, we're about to hit 200 million, bro. Holy.
After getting a better pair of shears, I made the farm a little more efficient, and we also hit 200 mil from our netherite ingots.
If they sell, we make huge money back. If they don't, then it's kind of a waste of time.
After some more of our stuff on the auction sold, I had a really random idea. What if you made a snow farm?
I have an order for bones for some reason. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, we ordered this a long time ago for that Crimson farm. I never used them. I guess I'll just dump them in here and order them back to people. Okay, this one's pro. That is an expensive shovel, but I guess we'll buy it. We don't really have another choice. Finally done with the snow farm, and yeah, overall it was a horrible decision, and it makes literally no money because nobody wants to buy it and nobody wants to order. After dropping some more bones into the shulker loader, I went down to go order the bones to people, and we made about 1 mil. Oh, somebody actually bought the glow lichen. Let's go. I'm gonna AFK these skellies for about 20 minutes just to see like what the rate is on how much bones this thing actually produces. And yeah, I'll times that by the amount they're ordering for, and we'll see how much money these skellies make an hour. And yeah, I'm gonna just go think of some money making ideas that I could do because I don't know what else to do right now. Right, I am back. I've been AFKing for about like, I think it's been around 2 hours. So there is 12,000 bones in here, and we can do 12,000 times the average order is probably around $70. So we made $840,000 in 2 hours. So that means we make around 420k an hour with 50 skellies. Wait, let me check this chest. Oh, it made 2 in here too. All right, we made around 600k. Oh, never mind. There's more bones. Okay, yeah, we made around like 720 cats. And some of the bones are in the shulker boxes. They just haven't fully filled the shulker boxes yet, so it's not gonna like send it down. But yeah. Also put some bone meal in the glow lichen farm and then started AFKing it. After AFKing for a little bit, we had about 9 stacks of glow lichen and I started selling them on auction. Alright guys, I just woke up. Our base is not rated. Hopefully we still have the same amount of skellies as we did. Okay, perfect. I've been AFKing for around like 10 or 11 hours, so let's see how much money we made. 61,000 bones. We made around 4.27 mil overnight. Alright, first chest. 4 bones. Most of them go in here though. Okay, that's pretty good. And all of them ordered. We made 3.36 million. I'll take it. Alright, I've been AFKing for about 30 minutes, and all of our glow lichen is sold. Here's all the auction transactions if y'all want to see them. But look, this is insane, bro. Glow lichen is 400k a stack, bro. Since the glow lichen was so high right now, I decided to go ahead and sell some more. I also modified the glow lichen farm a little bit and even made this little storage system for it. Sadly, some of the footage did corrupt, but I basically just ordered the bones and I made around $7 million from this. And you can also see this by my playtime going up. We have 77k bones, pretty good. We now have 56 spawners and 1 singular shard. Alright, well I'm gonna go ahead and AFK for the night and hopefully we can make a decent amount of money. Alright, we've been AFKing for so long that the bone storage is actually 100% full. We did it! 250 million! I'll see you on the next one. This is the DonutSMP leaderboards, where the richest of people have over $1 billion. But is it possible for someone like me, the average DonutSMP player, to get $1 billion all completely solo? Well, in this series, this is exactly what we try and find out. So, no further more, let's jump into the video. Alright, we're back on the DonutSMP. Now, I'm sure I've already explained it in the intro of the video, but a bunch of the footage got corrupted. This might be a good time to mention that I lost over 20 hours of recording. So I had to completely restart episode 4. So, yeah, that sucked. But here we are now. Also, this is what our spawner base looks like. Yeah. Also, some of you said the bamboo farm was not worth $136 million in the last episode. I went to a random person and literally just gave them 40 skeleton spawners, which is worth about $60 million. So then y'all couldn't say that this challenge wasn't fair because of the bamboo farm that I sold it for so much. We have 250 mil and 29 skeleton spawners to our name, and now we have to go make a base. So after finding the place where I was going to build my base and getting an amethyst pickaxe, I started digging my area out, and a few shulker boxes of moss later, we had the roof fully done. Once I was done mining the area out, I started working on the floor, and as I was mining out the walls, I was thinking about what farm I should build here. I was originally thinking kelp because it just got buffed, and it seemed really good right now. But I also wanted to try something that no one's ever done before, pumpkins. You see, pumpkins just got a buff by quite a lot. Now I want to see if they're actually good. So after making the walls, I bought the materials I needed to start working on the pumpkin farm. Oh, our amethyst pickaxe, so let's go. You know, I don't know if pumpkin farms are even good, but, you know, this is kind of just a test, so we'll see. I do have 29 skeleton spawners, so I'll go ahead and place these down as I'm AFK in the pumpkin farm, and yeah, I'll come back in a little bit, and hopefully some of these pumpkins grew. Alright guys, I'm back, and it turns out I'm an absolute buffoon. You see, I forgot to put the glowstone so the pumpkins had no light, so it was just not growing at all, no matter how much I bone milled it. After about 30 minutes of AFKing when the pumpkins actually had the light, we made around 18k. What sounds horrible, but if you look at how small of a farm it is, it makes sense. I had hope, so I decided to keep working on the farm. Little did I know at the time, this was going to be the best decision I made throughout the whole series. After a bit of building, I also went ahead and ordered some of my bones from my skeleton spawners. Building layer by layer, and after about 30 minutes, it was almost stacked up all the way to the ceiling. Alright, I'm back. I don't know how long I've been AFKing for, but honestly, bro, I just looked at the pumpkins. This is not that bad. That is a pretty solid amount of pumpkins. And let's go ahead and order these to see how much money we make. Alright, I'm not even gonna say it, but yeah, we made almost 70k. Since I wanted to expand the pumpkin farm, I bought an amethyst pickaxe and started digging out more area. I also started ordering some of the farm materials we're gonna need for the pumpkin farm just so it'd be cheaper in the long run. So after digging a little bit more out, I started working on more of the pumpkin modules. I'm gonna go ahead and AFK for now, but yeah, hopefully our pumpkin farm can make something. And let's keep note that it's at about a row right now, so let's see how much it makes in like, I'll come back in about an hour. Alright everyone, I'm pretty much done AFKing. I've been AFKing for almost pretty much an hour and a half, like on the dot, an hour and a half. Dang, okay. It already had a row previously, so let me go ahead and sell all this. Let's see how much we made. I'm gonna sell everything that wasn't the row, so this is pretty much what we had in it before I AFK'd, so let's just see how much this was worth. Did they just get a buff? Holy, they're so expensive. Dude, we just made... no way. Now, to this day, I still don't know why they went up this much, because they didn't actually get a buff, so I guess people need them for like Halloween builds or something, but yeah, it was good for me. After ordering some bones and selling my amethyst pickaxe on the auction house, I went ahead and started building more to the pumpkin farm, meaning it was really good. After just about all the building was done, I had stacked both sides of the pumpkin farm all the way up to the roof. Alright guys, I've been AFKing for my pumpkin farm for quite a while now. I added an extra chest just because the first one was filling up, so this is how much we have right now. Alright, and we're done ordering, and we made about 850k, which is pretty solid overall. After ordering some more bones, I made this little shulker loader and also wired up some redstone to where the pumpkins would drop out of these droppers into a shulker loader. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I pretty much just ran around my base for the next 20 minutes and resold one thing to make myself feel like I was making money, but yeah, that was about it. Alright, it's been around 14 hours. Sadly, we did get disconnected in the middle of the night, so I don't know how long it even AFK'd for. 1.44 million. That's pretty good, bro. We made about 1.3 mil from that. That is pretty good. I bought an amethyst pickaxe and kept digging out my area so I could keep building more of my pumpkin farm. Anyways, this is what I had built for the pumpkin farm, and for some reason out of nowhere, the server went under maintenance, so I couldn't play. Alright, I'm back. Server is back online, and it looks like we got a shulker box of pumpkins. Alright, I think it's finally done, bro. Holy, this is a pretty big pumpkin farm now. Now, sadly, the prices of the pumpkins did go down quite a bit, so I didn't even know if this was worth building. Since I wanted to know how much money the pumpkin farm was gonna make now, I went ahead and did the calculations, and I was kind of disappointed. Oh, that is so bad, bro. That is not good. Alright, I'm back from AFK in the pumpkin farm. 1 mil? Okay. I don't know how long I was AFKing for, but I guess that's alright. Now that I saw how low our profit was from the pumpkin farm, I knew I needed to make a different farm. Alright, so as y'all probably know, kelp farms are extremely meta right now. But the thing is, if you don't smelt the kelp, you basically make no profit. So instead of just making the kelp farm, I'm going to order the kelp and then just dump it into like an auto smelter to see if that makes any money. Now that I had the idea, I went ahead and bought an amethyst pickaxe so I could start mining out area where I could actually build this thing. So after I was digging out the area, I sold my amethyst pickaxe and started working on the smelter. I also went ahead and ordered a ton of blaze rods, so that's why my money dropped down so low. Once the thing was finally done, I dropped the kelp and blaze rods to the farm, and now we just have to AFK. Alright, I'm back. We've been AFKing for quite a while now. Alright, we made 1.24 mil. I was making a pretty good amount of money from this kelp as well. It wasn't all smelted up yet, so I was only selling a little bit. But also keep in mind, this is not profit. I did have to put a lot of money into this as well. I had enough shards, so I went ahead and bought another skeleton spawner as well. Anyways, it's getting pretty late for me, so I'm gonna go to bed soon, and I'm gonna AFK everything overnight. So this should smelt all the kelp down, and this should make a decent amount of pumpkins, so hopefully we make at least like 5 mil from this maybe. Any money from the pumpkin farm, honestly, is good. For some reason, I got disconnected again, and also pumpkins went down to a horrible price, so this farm was pretty dog water. Now, the bones were making me a decent amount of money, but if you look at my bow, I'm pretty much still under 250 mil, and we're almost 8 minutes into the video. Alright, we are finally up 3 mil. Alright, we're back down to losing money. Let's go. Now, I can't really show you me doing this because y'all probably might be able to find my base somehow, but basically I just went up into the surface and got some cows for my base. And Bernard. We have 2 Bernards. I was also selling droppers on the side just to make a little bit of extra money. I was also ordering hoppers and then just straight up selling them on AH, and I was making a decent profit. After buying an amethyst pickaxe, I started digging the area out I was gonna need to build the cow farm. I also had sold the amethyst pickaxe, that's why my money went back up. Alright, well, all we gotta really do is AFK, And about every 15 minutes, I'm gonna come over here and breed the cows. So hopefully in the next recording, we should have a decent amount of cows. Alright, I'm back, guys, from AFK in the cow farm. Bro, at the time of recording right now, I have no idea how I'm actually gonna get to 500 million. This pumpkin farm is not it. 34 skeleton spawners is gonna help a little bit, but that's gonna get us nowhere. And now I can't even log on Donut. Yep, okay, that's really gonna help us get to 500 mil.
Once I was able to log back on the server, I didn't really know what to do, so I just started putting cows on my little cow farm. By the way, if you're wondering how this cow farm works, the chains are there so the baby cows will fall down, and then when the baby cows grow up, we get leather.
Sharp 4, looting 3, it's 250k, but we will be using this a lot, so we're gonna need it.
After killing some cows, I went ahead and breeded some more up, and I also ordered some kelp that I had. At this point in the challenge, I felt like I was finally making progress because I was past 250 million. Reselling hoppers was also extremely good because they sold extremely fast. After ordering some bones that I had from my skeleton spawners, I kept reselling hoppers because this money-making method is actually insane. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what I do with the cows, when I get the leather, I craft them into item frames and then sell them, because a stack of item frames sells for over 500k. Since the hoppers were selling so good, I invested another 4 mil into them. Now, I also placed an order for some pistons and was reselling these just like I was with hoppers, and it was working really well.
Here's all the auction transactions if y'all want to see. I don't know if anything sold. I guess maybe some pistons or something did, but this is everything. For some reason, they're having like a dance party or something over here. I don't know why all of the cows are crowding under this, but basically they're dying from suffocation, and it's giving me leather, which is not good because I want to kill them with a looting sword so then I can get more leather.
After killing some cows, breeding them up again, and also selling some of our kelp that we have and our pumpkins, I was thinking about building a new base because I always like to have at least 2 because if one gets raided, then at least we have another one. After selling a few item frames that we got from our cows, now it's time to go out and make a new base. Been AFKing overnight and actually made a decent amount of pumpkins. I can't lie. That looks like it's worth a decent amount of money. 4.14 mil? I'll take that, honestly. That's not bad. Even though we only have 35 skeleton spawners, they actually start to make a decent amount of money. After ordering the bones and making about 7 mil, I just kept on reselling stuff like item frames and especially hoppers, and we were making a ton of money from this.
Also, here are our auction transactions, by the way, if anybody wants to see this, because I think, yeah, a lot of our stuff sold overnight.
I also didn't want to use this kelp smelter thing anymore, so I went ahead and got the leftover blaze rods from it and ordered it. I actually made a decent amount of money from this. Since the hoppers were so good, I decided to spend 9 mil on orders of them. And after a little bit more of reselling, it seems like stuff was starting to move in the right direction.
Alright, I just breeded up the cows, and yeah, a bunch of our hoppers are on our auction right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and AFK, and we'll see how much money we make when I come back. For some reason, the freaking recording is just tweaking, bro. But yeah, we just made like, I don't know, maybe like 7 mil or something. I don't even know how much it was. But I ordered all the bones from our skeleton spawners. So we had like 54% full, or like 60% full. I don't know how much that is. Sold a bunch of hoppers, so right now we have a bunch of hoppers on our AH. A bunch of them had sold previously, so these are the auction transactions. And I also sold the pumpkins, which are about like 3 mil. So y'all can see that right here. Alright everyone, I've been AFKing overnight. Our base isn't raided, which is always a good thing. Been making a bunch of pumpkins and obviously bones. And if you look at our bound, you can see that all of our stuff on auction sold. And just look at this. So many hoppers, bro. And then every once in a while there's some item frames. So yeah, let me go ahead and start selling some of these hoppers again.
Also went ahead and ordered my bones, which may be about 6 mil, which is always pretty good. I went ahead and also bought 2 extra skeleton spawners and then went ahead and ordered my pumpkins.
Yo, we hit 300 mil, let's go.
After hitting 300 mil, I bred up my cows and then started selling their remains. The hoppers were also selling extremely quickly, so I decided to order a bunch more. After finding the place where I was going to build my base, I ordered some pistons and bought an amethyst pickaxe and started mining out the area.
Alright, I've been AFKing overnight.
After ordering my bones and my pumpkins, I made about 10 million, which is okay, but definitely not that good. I also started selling hoppers that I had ordered previously, and basically anytime someone would buy a hopper, I would immediately sell another stack. After I was done digging the area out, I started placing the moss on the top for the roof, so keep in mind I'm still selling hoppers. After I was done digging some of the area out, I started working on the flooring of the base. I went ahead and started working on some of the modules, and yes, I am building a bamboo farm. The reason I'm making a bamboo farm is because right as I sold my last bamboo farm, Dr. Donut decided to buff bamboo by 33%, so now it's really good. Oh, and if you're wondering why my money went up a bunch, it's because I sold my amethyst pickaxe, and I also been selling a bunch of hoppers. After everything was finished, right now I have 25 bamboo modules.
Alright, I'm back. I've been AFKing overnight. Pumpkins just got a 5x buff right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and order these, and this should be worth a lot of money. Pumpkins are so meta. I just made 20 mil off that. That is ridiculous. What the frick? Look, it says 5x pumpkin like on the thing.
After ordering the bones, we had over $340 million.
Alright, I'm back for AFKing for a little bit. And bro, pumpkin farms are absolutely ridiculous right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start expanding this. and I might even make a sky base for pumpkin farm so we can make as many pumpkins as we can. First, I'm gonna go ahead and order these bones real quick.
I've also had my alt account at the bamboo farm, so I went ahead and built a shulker loader just so it could be easier to sell.
I'm about to go ahead and go to bed, so I'm gonna have one account AFK in the bamboo farm and one account AFK in the pumpkin farm, so we'll make a decent amount of money.
As usual, I woke up and ordered the bones, and bro, pumpkins are ridiculous right now. It is crazy. I also made like 1 mil from my bamboo farm, so it's just kind of extra money. Now, as I'm selling this next batch of pumpkins, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Donut, for watching my videos, and thank you everyone for all the support on this series. It's been crazy. After selling this last batch of pumpkins, I had over 400 million. I was also still selling hoppers on the side just for some extra money. After ordering some more bones and watching some cheese race, I had over $414 million.
About seeing if people can fly. Crikey. Genocide, war, the impending collapse of our planet. Simple man living a simple life.
Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. I got pretty lucky here with the 5x pumpkins, because if that didn't happen, I don't know what I would have done. So I pretty much just AFK'd my pumpkin farm all the way up to 500 million. But in the next episode, we have to go all the way up to 1 billion, and there's not gonna be any lucky buffs like this time. 500 million! Now we gotta get to a bill. $1 billion is considered extremely rich to the average DonutSMP player. But can the average player get $1 billion by playing all completely solo? Well, in this series, that's exactly what we try and find out. From finding insane money-making methods to building insanely huge farms that produce us millions an hour, this is episode 5 of how I'll be going from 500 mil all the way up to $1 billion in the DonutSMP. Alright, so my mic was actually turned off in these first few clips, but when I had TP to my bamboo base I had built towards the end of the last video, for some reason there was these weird holes everywhere. So I had figured that someone had found it, so I didn't really want to build anything else here. I knew that getting to $1 billion was going to be really hard, so I'd have to build whatever the meta farm was at the time. And right now, it's kelp. So I went ahead and bought an Amethyst pickaxe and started expanding my area. So after digging out the area, I kept adding more flooring, and I went ahead and broke down this like weird kelp smelter thing. I don't even know what this is, but this is something I built in the last video. I also went ahead and ordered like 10 mil worth of bones for my kelp farm. And after selling my Amethyst pickaxe, I went ahead and started working on the kelp farm. Now, if you're wondering what design this is, I think this was called the IKEA V1 by Mushcat. Now, after I was fully done building the farm, I went ahead and ordered some bone blocks because for some reason you can't use bones in this farm. After the farm was completely finished, I went ahead and wired it up to a shulker loader, and now all we do is AFK. Alright, I've been AFKing for a decent while now. And it looks like, okay, that is actually a decent amount of kelp. So far we've made like 11 million, which is pretty good, I guess. Yeah, 1 mil. Now, it turns out the farm actually does work with bones as well. It's just not as efficient. Alright, I'm done AFKing. I also dumped all the bones into the autocrafter as I was off camera, I think. So I don't think... Yeah, we don't have any bone orders at all. Alright, nice. Looks like we're above 500 mil. I also spent a lot of money on farm materials and stuff, so that's good. Where did you come from? This dude is just at my base. What? Now, real quick, before we continue with the video, I just want to let y'all know that I just released my brand new server. I'm not going to talk on it for too long, but we have custom villagers, daily events, and we also make sure to stay away from pay to win as much as possible. So if you want to give the server a try, make sure to use the IP and port shown on screen right now. Long story short, I basically just talked to this guy and signed a bunch, and he was German, so I didn't really understand a whole lot of what he was saying. But he also ended up taking my Skellys, which kind of sucked, so now we gotta go build a new base. I also went ahead and went out and made a new base and just built this one little smelter thing. I wasn't recording, so sorry about that, but it was a really small, and this is all I have right now. So basically how this works is I order kelp, and I just dump it into it, and it uses some of the kelp that it already has to like re-smelt it basically, and I just get the leftover profit kelp. I also bought an Amethyst pickaxe and started digging out my area a little more because I want to build more of these kelp things. Okay, I just did the calculations. I think this thing should be realistically making around 1.8, if not 2x our profit. So, say we put 100 mil worth of kelp in here, it should give us 200 mil out. Alright, well there's not really a whole lot I can do right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and AFK, and I'll come back later, and hopefully this made a decent amount of kelp. Alright guys, I've been AFKing for a pretty decent amount of time. You can see I gained a lot of shards as well. Yeah, 1 mil, pretty good. Well, what I'm actually going to do is I want to extend the area this way, and I already had plotted out where I'm going to like build the next modules at. I'm going to build 2 more of these, and I'm also going to tear this top portion down and add chest right here.
so we can have like a way bigger storage, basically. Now, as I was working on the new storage for this, I went ahead and ordered $4 million worth of crafters because someone in my comments said by reselling crafters, you can make a lot of money. So we're gonna give this a try. I also went ahead and bought 4 skeleton spawners and continued working on the farm. I also went ahead and ordered a ton of kelp and was getting ready to dump into the farm. Bunch of building later, and we had 4 modules now. I was also reselling some random stuff. So if you see here in the chat, it says I was selling some hoppers, and I was also selling the crafters that I had ordered. All right, so we built all 4 of the kelp modules, and now all I gotta do is wait for people to order me kelp. And I'm gonna go ahead and AFK overnight. We got some stuff on our auction, and hopefully we'll be back up to 500 mil by tomorrow. All right, I'm back from AFKing overnight. How many? Okay, 2 double chests. That's not too bad, but it's not the greatest. All the kelp obviously didn't smelt. There's still a bunch smelting, I think, like in these chests. Yeah, there's still a ton. All right, there we go. We're back up to 470 million, which is good. After ordering the kelp, I also went ahead and dumped some of it back into the extra smelter thing so we can get more kelp. I was also still getting these auto crafters from my orders and reselling them. Basically, all I did in this clip was sell some of the kelp and did a little bit of reselling to try to get back up to 500 million so we weren't below it. Our money back. Alright, I've been AFKing overnight. All of my crafters sold on auction, and we actually made a decent amount of money from this. It's a pretty good strategy. I'm gonna order a decent amount of crafters because that actually resold like pretty well, so let's go ahead and get some more of those. I'm not gonna order any more kelp right now. That would probably be the best decision, but I'm not going to do that yet because I want to actually make sure I'm making profit before I just start dumping more money into this thing. By the way, if you see my money going up and down a bunch, it's basically from ordering kelp and reselling kelp. So basically, I'm just selling a bunch of crafters. And the reason I'm not making a lot of money from my kelp right now, as you can see I'm still under 500 mil, is it takes a long time to start making profit. So really soon, we should start 1.5 to almost 2xing our money. This thing that makes probably about like 4 or 5 million an hour, but you also have to order the kelp, so that factors in as well. This isn't really going to get us to a bill. I'm not going to lie. It's just not good enough. And everybody says kelp farms are so good, go build a kelp farm. Well, what if you made a kelp farm, but you didn't use bone meal? It's kind of like a bamboo farm, you know? By the way, the reason we got back up to 500 million is a ton of our crafters sold on the AH, which are worth a ton of money, actually. And it was mainly just selling the kelp. But I wanted to try this new strategy, and I always like to have more than one base in case one of them gets raided, so I was getting ready to go work on a new base. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I went ahead and started digging out some area, and yes, I know you can see my coordinates, but I never even did anything with this. I also went ahead and ordered a crap ton of bones, and decided to just start digging an area out where my base was originally. So then I could just link the kelp farm up to the smelter to make a ton of money. After digging the area out, I started working on the kelp farm, and sure enough, it was almost done. After finishing up the kelp farm, I started digging more of the area out, so then I could start working on the auto crafters. By the way, as I'm building this, if you see my money go down at all, it's just from buying farm materials. After the farm was just about done, I put some bones into it that I had for my order and tested it out, and it was working pretty good. After I had ordered some kelp, I also started reselling some stuff just to get some extra money. Since the farm seemed to be working good, I ordered some more bones, and just now we have to AFK. Now, as the farm was running, I also started enchanting some pickaxes just for some extra money. And then the biggest order by far is the kelp, which we ordered for like a bunch. So now we're actually making a lot of money. So we're at 510 mil, and we're finally past 500 mil. If you're seeing my money go up and down a lot, it's just from ordering and selling kelp, by the way. Since I was finally seeing profit from the kelp farm, I decided to order $41 million worth of kelp for huge profit after this. And after a bunch of AFKing, I was almost back up to 500 mil, but the thing is, I still had a crap ton of kelp left. After selling a bunch more kelp, I had over 520 million. Now this is about what we had earlier, but the thing is, I still have a bunch of kelp left in my orders, so we're starting to finally make money. Okay, so you're probably wondering where I'm at right now. I forgot to record, but basically, if you can see by my money, I paid this guy 65 million for this bamboo base. It's pretty decent. It doesn't go far back a whole lot, but yeah, as y'all can see, this isn't built, by the way. This is just like still being worked on, but I've been AFKing this for a while now, and we're gonna go ahead and sell the bamboo and see how much we made. I actually bought this from one of my moderators, so shout out Days. But yeah, this basically, I bought this bamboo farm, and I figured it would help me make a lot more money. But yeah, keep in mind, we did spend 65 mil on this, so while this might make a decent amount of money, we did spend a lot of money on it as well. I'm also might expand it. I don't know what we're gonna do with this yet. I might also resell it if I do expand it. So yeah. But yeah, I'm about to go AFK this thing overnight, and we'll see how much money this makes overnight. So I'll see y'all then. Alright, I just want to do this as a little recording real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep selling this every once in a while. I don't want to wait too long before we do. We have been AFKing for a while, But yeah, this is all the bamboo we have.
By the way, if you're wondering how big this is compared to the other bamboo farm I built previously in the series, it's about the same thing. But this was kind of a big risk for me because if the base were to get raided before I even made my money back, then I'd be at a huge loss. Now, if you look at my playtime, you can see that I've been AFKing for 2 whole days straight, and this is the amount of money we made. And I also decided to do this little trick where you order a bunch of crafters and you resell them on AH, and you make about double your profit. Now, something funny that happened is the guy that I bought this from had a teammate that still had a home at the base, actually, and he had ended up taking a bunch of the stuff from the shulker boxes, basically, which I could care less about. So, since he felt bad for taking the stuff from the shulker boxes, he went ahead and built a little bit more of the bamboo farm. So, thank you to whoever that guy is. And after selling this batch of bamboo, I had over 600 million now. Now, you're probably wondering, oh, he can just AFK the bamboo farm all the way up to $1 billion, it's easy. Well, yeah, that was exactly my plan. But after a crap ton of AFKing and I reached about 750 mil from this is also reselling my crafters, something bad happened. By the way, if you made it this far into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. It would help me out a lot. After getting about another 30 mil from my bamboo farm and placing a big order for auto crafters, I found some random dude just sitting at my base. So obviously I decided to kill him to see if he had anything, and he had a pickaxe which I sold for about 250k, so I guess that's that. Alright everyone, so as y'all know, the bamboo base got found, and I have no real way of making money right now. You can see my bow is up a lot, and that is because I sold literally all the auto crafters. I mean, this is ridiculous. You can see all the auction transactions here. Alright, so we just made a decent amount of money from that, but we're still like 150 mil away, and I don't have any bases, I don't think. Matter of fact, we still have a bunch of crafters in here. Let me sell these. Alright, that's every spawner we can buy, and that's actually a stack and 8, which is really good. After a little bit of thinking about what I was gonna do, I decided to try to TP some streamers to my base and see if I could get some money.
Alright, bro, I guess I'm going this guy.
Yes, he accepted, This is my bamboo base.
Are you the fake? Oh, you're fake? The guy who did the 0 to $1 billion?
No, that's not me.
That guy's name's Villager King, but I don't...
Yeah, his IGN's Villager King, not Sushi Dog, so... But,
Yo,
yeah,
this sounds exactly like you.
No, it does not.
Alright, my bad. What do you want?
I was wondering if I could get some money for my base. Now, the next guy I TP'd, I actually sold all my Skelly stew for 1.4 mil each, and I was getting a lot closer to $1 billion after this. The next streamer I got also gave me $1 million. By the way, this isn't taking out handouts. Anybody can do this. Just pull up YouTube and just TP people to your base and they'll give you money. The last thing I did to get really close to $1 billion was sell this guy my base for 50 million. That makes 5 million an hour, so I feel like this is more than fair. Now that I was only $2 million away from my final goal of 1 billion, I started reselling anything I possibly could, and eventually, I finally got it. Yes, sir. 1 billion. That was a crazy freaking series, bro. I want to give a special thanks to Dr. Donut for watching my videos. That really means a lot to me. And Challenge overall just completely skyrocketed my channel from about 5k subs to like over 20,000 now, which is crazy. And I just want to tell y'all how thankful I am for this. So thank you for everything, guys. I really appreciate this. This is awesome. This means a lot to me. I'll see y'all in the next video.